Hello. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I changed my diet to a high protein, moderate fat, low carb diet in April of 2024. It is currently February 26th, but I'm actually recording this for tomorrow. I am making myself some overnight oats to have tomorrow, so I want to show you that recipe. It comes from Autumn L Nutrition, and she's starting a challenge where you eat overnight oats every day for like 5 days. And it just sounded like something fun to try some of her recipes. I'm not sure that like I'll eat it every day or anything like that, but just some of the recipes looked good and I wanted to try them. So I'm kind of using it as an excuse to try them. The recipe calls for a third of a cup of uh, oats, but she does say that if you're carb sensitive, you can replace that with flaxseed meal, a quarter cup of flaxseed meal. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I will link to the recipe in the description below. A couple other changes are that it calls for 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of chia seeds and 1 tablespoon of hemp hearts. Just I like hemp hearts, so I want to have those in there. And then it calls for a half cup of whole milk. I'm going to use almond milk because I accidentally bought this giant container of almond milk. I order my groceries online and I didn't realize I bought such a big jug of it. So I need to get it used up. In my container here, I have the chia seeds and the hemp hearts and the flaxseed meal. And then I also have a serving of this Fit Crunch protein powder. This is my favorite vanilla protein powder. So I do like to use it in like recipes and stuff. I wouldn't say it's like the best thing ever. Like the chocolate version of Fit Crunch is really, really delicious. This is just the best vanilla that I've ever had. And not that it's bad, it's just like it's not fantastic. Okay, so I've got those in here. I'm going to just stir this all up to get it started and being mixed. And then I'm going to add to this my almond milk. And I need a quarter cup of Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. So I am using Okios Pro plain Greek yogurt. It does have more protein in it than regular Greek yogurt, which Greek yogurt is a higher protein food because they add whey protein powder to it. Okay, so I said I needed a quarter cup of this. Okay, and then I need some peanut butter. The original recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of peanut butter and then to add an additional, like optional 2 teaspoons of peanut butter on top. But I don't want to do that. I just want to add like all of the peanut butter into my oats. So I'm just going to use a tablespoon of peanut butter, which this is Smucker's natural peanut butter. So it doesn't have any sweetener in it, but it does separate. So that's why I'm having to like get it stirred up before I use it. Okay, I'm gonna get these all mixed together and then I'll get the lid on it and let it sit overnight. And this is what I will have for my breakfast, which I'm actually not going to have my coffee first tomorrow, if you can believe that. It is now morning. It's 9 a.m. and I'm ready to try my overnight oats. So this is what it looks like. It is thinner than I would like it to be. That could be because I added less chia seeds to it than the recipe called for. I only added 1 tablespoon, but I did add a tablespoon of hemp seeds, so I'm not really sure. But it is definitely thinner than I would like it to be. But I'm going to give it a try. Wow, that has a lot more peanut butter flavor to it than I thought it would. I kind of felt like, oh, I think it's going to need some more peanut butter, but it's just about perfect. It needs a little salt, but otherwise it is really good. I think next time I would just add less milk so that it's more of the consistency that I like because like it's almost like a smoothie consistency. It's about 12:30 and I'm ready for my second meal of the day. I did go to the gym this morning and I ran. Today is cardio only day. I try to run once a week so I can just kind of get that impact on my joints and my muscles. Um, I just I should not be, like, doing that kind of stuff or strength training in the morning. My body is just so sluggish. It takes a while to wake up, I think. So, it's definitely something I wanna be doing in the afternoon. I did get through the whole half hour. It wasn't a grind, it just felt sluggish to me. So yeah, so now I'm ready for my second meal, and it's actually something that I made a while ago, and I recorded it, but I haven't, posted it. So here's the recording of me making it. I will link to this recipe in the description below, but of course I am changing it. It actually calls for quite a bit of oil. The original recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of oil and 1 tablespoon of olive oil or avocado oil. That's just a lot of oil for me. Like, I don't think I can handle it. I won't like it. And it doesn't quite match my goals of like weight loss. So that's like a high caloric food, which means that I won't be getting my protein in because I'll just be too full from having all of that fat. So I am going to adjust it. I'm actually gonna like kind of cut the recipe in half because I'm using so much less oil. I don't want to use the same amount of like all the other ingredients that the recipe calls for because then I think like the flavor will just be too off. So since I'm cutting the oil down by quite a bit, I'm going to actually cut the rest of the ingredients in half. All right, so I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. Like I said, the original recipe calls for 2 tablespoons. So this is actually cutting it down by quite a bit, like 1/6 of the oil that it's calling for. Just of the sesame oil. That doesn't include the tablespoon of olive or avocado oil that the recipe calls for. Okay, and then I'm going to add 3/4 of a teaspoon of soy sauce and 3/4 of a teaspoon of rice vinegar. And then 2 1/4 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. And then I'll just get these blended together. I am also going to take some avocado just because I feel like it might be good with this dish. The original recipe calls for having it with like a spring mix or whatever greens you like. So I am going to take some lettuce with me, some romaine lettuce. However, I'm not sure that I'll actually use it with this dish. Although I am gonna like make a chicken salad. I plan to have that too. So I will use the romaine. Just I'm not sure that I'll eat it with this dish. So I'll be back to tell you how it tastes. Now I'm ready to add that sauce to my salmon. So I've got a packet here of pink salmon. I'm going to mix it in with the sauce and then I'll give it a try. Okay, now you are supposed to like put this on some greens, but I'm just going to try it the way it is. I like that. That's really good. Yeah, that's nice. I think instead of greens, I have an avocado I need to use. I think I'm going to chop that up and put that in here. This will be a really nice meal. I also didn't have my donut this morning, so I'm going to have my donut, which is from Conscious Comforts, a local bakery in my area that makes gluten-free, sugar-free donuts. I'm not sure if I'm going to have coffee or not. I think it'll depend on how full I get from this food. It is 6:45 and I'm ready for my last meal of the day. So I have a Caesar salad here with bacon, Parmesan, Caesar dressing, romaine lettuce, and cucumber. And then I have a New York strip steak. It'll be about 6 ounces cooked. Let's take a look at how my day turned out. For my second meal, when I had my donut, I did end up having coffee with it, but I didn't add anything to the coffee except for milk. So it was made with 1 cup of Fairlife whole milk and then my 2 shots of espresso. I just really like coffee with my donut, but I knew I couldn't handle like all the other stuff. It would just have been like way too much food for me. So that's what I had. And I went to the gym today and I spent 2 hours, pretty close to 2 hours, just walking on the stair stepper. It was so much fun. I did level 5, so like nasal breathing. I can just do it and walk and not even really think about it. I guess not walk, but step. Not even really think about it. I just did my puzzle book. It was like it was relaxing and nice and like the perfect movement of what my body needed to like get the energy out that I kind of had built up in me because I didn't do any strength training today. It's not a strength training day. And so my body was like, yeah, but I still need to get some energy out. And I was able to do that. And it just felt so fantastic. For my salad tonight, the reason that I had that salad was because I originally had planned to have a salad, but I was going to use wishbone fat-free dressing, which isn't very calorically dense. And then just like the lettuce and cucumber and like maybe a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese. So the salad was supposed to be much less calorically dense than what I actually had, but because I burned so many calories today, that's why I changed that and added like the higher calorie dressing and the bacon and the Parmesan cheese, which really is probably about equal with the shredded cheddar. But so that's why I made it more calorically dense so that I wouldn't be in too big of a deficit today. So I ended up with about 2,100 calories. My protein is 211. My net carbs are 31. And my fat is 121. My caloric deficit is right where I want it to be. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.